Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of A Conversation With here on the Severe MMA YouTube page. I am Spencer Kyte, and I am joined from a professional, crisp, clean-looking studio
Let's go.
by Rob S. Font. And I'm going to stop right here before I even let Rob say anything. And I need to clarify, all of these years we've known each other, all of these years we've talked, all these years I've tweeted at Rob S. Font. And you mean to tell me you never thought to tell me that it's Robert Spencer Font?
I think
Come on, my man. Come on.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
it's a good name.
I know, right? I should put it out there more. Yeah, I don't know. It's like a little known fact. Yeah, that's my middle name, Spencer. Always kind of like, no offense, and I always got made fun of when I was younger.
Oh,
people,
same.
Yeah, like, what? Your name's Spencer? And it was kind of like one of those things that, like, I guess I should get ahead of it and put it out there a little bit more, But no, I'm starting. Like it's funny. Like I don't really. I forget about it until Twitter kind of comes up and they put the S out there, then get the conversation going.
Yeah. And then Wikipedia's selling you out, letting me know this morning that it's Spencer. And I mean, listen, you say you're getting teased. I am Edgar Spencer Kyte. I got all of it, always, forever.
So I guess the story is I don't know. I should probably look it up too. There was like this show. It's called Spencer for Hire or something like that.
Yes, sir.
Back in are you familiar with that?
Yep.
All right, so I guess that's how
I'm a decade older than you. I remember.
Yeah, my parents telling me that's where they kind of like got the name and just stuck with it.
Yeah. Kids, man. Kids. Shout out to all the Spencers. And speaking of kids, shout out to yourself and your beautiful partner, Kathy. Congratulations. How is Eminem? How is Emerald Monroe Font doing? 2 months, right? Like 2 months old now.
Yeah, 2 months, but yeah, little 2 months, little over 2 months, but she's thriving, man. It's been such a cool experience seeing her grow, seeing her little personality already, seeing her laugh, smile when we walk in the door, all that. It's just like, it's just mind blowing, man. It's so much love in the house. There's so much like smiles. It's a good time, right? It's a real good time right now.
How has, obviously everybody always talks about kids change things.
Yeah.
How has her arrival sort of dialed things in? I know you've talked about it a little bit of like, now it's a rush to get things done, not in a bad way, but like, I want to get this done so I can get back and hang out with her. I want to get done so I can go and see her.
Yeah. Obviously, like I still put the quality work in. I still get it in, but it's more of like I'm flying down the road to get home just to see her. And I could go like a Wednesday, Friday practice is rough. It's hard goes. It's up and down, and then like I could be dead tired on that ride home. And the moment I get home, I'm just like, I'm lit right back up, and I got energy. It's like I took a shot of espresso or something the moment I see her. So that's that like that. I feel like she's keeping me young, making me young, and keeping me energized. And as far as like things that change is really just kind of getting on a schedule. I guess me and Kathy's communication has gotten better. She's a soldier. She's down to do for whatever, but like I also don't want her to take it all on by herself. So I've been trying to kind of like as much as I can just be there. Wake up in the morning. I wake up pretty early anyway, so I'm usually the morning person. I'm getting up with her, hanging out with her, and just spending that quality time with her before I hit the gym, and then I get back during the day, and then hopefully she's up. And if she's not, I try to take a nap with her and just chill out with her as much as possible, and try to take as much as possible off of Kathy's plate, because she's still cooking, she's still feeding me, keeping all my meals ready, and obviously all my laundry and all that. I go through about 3 sets of clothes each day, so she's always had something to do, plus the baby. So it's more of like me stepping up in the household a little more. I'm like, no, I don't do it all the time, but I'm getting better
when you can. Yeah.
You'll
learn. You got lots of years to learn, man. You got lots of years,
and as much as I possibly can with that, and help her out as much as possible, because I know she's right, and everything all the help she's giving me is only going to make me a better fighter, better person, and definitely help me get my hand raised April 8th.
For sure. And when the gloves do eventually down the road get hung up, Kathy will just slide over and be like, yes, your turn, man. I had all them years of looking after you and her. Yeah. You got this one, big man.
I can hear it. I can see it.
So we start this show the same way every time. Rob Font, when did you fall in love with combat sports?
I would say around 2008, 2009, maybe no, 2007. I'll say more 2007. I was watching a lot of the WEC. I started watching a lot of the UFC. Accidentally came across it, kind of not came across it, but like I kind of knew of it. But then I got I got a little more addicted. I got the bug once I delivered that pizza to that house, and they were getting ready for the pay-per-view, and they were doing their thing, and then I started really watching it and really getting into it. You know, I was YouTubing anything I could get my hands on. I was at that time Jorge Masvidal and Kimbo Slice, they were kind of doing it. I was in Tampa, and
You're in Tampa, yeah.
they were doing their thing in Miami, and so you know, I was like, oh wait, hold up, and like it didn't go that far as like doing it in the backyard, but we would mimic that with the big Everlast blue 16-ounce gloves, and we'll just go out there and maybe 2 minutes go at it, and then think we did something. You know, it was just like just sloppy, just whatever. But it was then, and then I would watch everything, all the old school Van Damme movies, Jackie Chan movies, Three Ninjas. I was looking at everything, like then kickboxing fights, Muay Thai fights, jiu-jitsu, wrestling. I was watching it all on YouTube. Obviously the UFC, Ultimate Fighter show, anything, the Tap Out show, WEC, anything I can get my hands on, I was watching. And then I just took that leap. You know, I just said, you know what, I'm not stopping. Instead of just watching, I'm gonna start, you know, trying it out. I was always down to like mess around outside with my friends and at the barbecues or whatever, slap box, spar with some gloves or whatever. But then I just like, well, if I'm gonna do this, I want to do it right, because we always had excuses afterwards. It was either you poke me in the eye, you know, I'm out of shape, you know, the sun was in my eye, whatever it may be. So I'm gonna step up. I'm actually gonna get in shape. I'm gonna actually train, and so I signed up for a school after I delivered that pizza, and it was on, man. It was like it was like I couldn't think about anything else. I didn't want to do anything else. It wasn't trying to go back to school. It was like, this is it. And then it was like, so like I was so consumed with it that like I stopped watching sports. I started as far as like basketball, football, baseball. I couldn't follow along. I couldn't follow. I just like I was too deep into it. And yeah, and then
here we are.
Yeah, you're here, and I'm still kind of in that same boat, you know.
I love that. Obviously, I know the story. You and I have talked about the story, I think, dating back to the UFC debut. But like, for people that don't know, you've mentioned in there, since I delivered that pizza, you're working at Pizza Hut. Guys order a pie. You roll up. They're doing jujitsu in the garage or like out front of the garage, and you're just like, 1 minute, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
And you're just hooked. And it's just like, so we've heard all the stories of like, I got into this because my family. I got into this because of the struggle. Pizza Hut got you into MMA. Pizza Hut led to the UFC. Thank you, Pizza Hut. We got it. Listen, Tyson, get on a sponsorship, man. Let's go.
ASAP. Yeah, man. That'd be pretty
gotta
cool.
Gotta be in those local commercials for Pizza Hut.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. Yeah, it was just, yeah, it kind of happened on accident. Like, I even had pizzas in the car waiting. Just, you know, like probably got cold. You know, I probably didn't get a tip on the house, and they kind of briefly showed me, you know, like broke down what they were doing, you know, who they trained with. And it was just because I kind of watched boxing, but it wasn't like a diehard boxing fan, and I kind of knew of like collegiate wrestling, high school wrestling, but it wasn't into it. And then like I never saw the gis. I'm like, what are you guys wearing? And they kind of broke that down, and it was like, all right. And then it just caught my eye, and then I just started like did the deep dive on exactly what it was. You know what? You know, like I did a couple like classes when I was younger, like Taekwondo classes, but it wasn't like serious. But then this was different. It was like, man, I just jumped in all the way in, and I've always been like curious at all, and I've never been afraid to look stupid, and never been afraid to like fail. So I think like that helped out a lot, because like I was maybe 2 months in, and I took my first kickboxing match, and I definitely wasn't ready. Definitely wasn't in shape, and I was just like, I just didn't know. I just had to know where I was at, and I did great the first round, and after that I didn't understand how to like pace myself. I didn't understand how to like not just throw power shots. I didn't understand, you got to be in shape to actually do it. I was still kind of like partying and just dabbling here and there, still going to the gym, but not doing the conditioning, the dieting, and all that stuff outside of just going to the gym. So I quickly learned, like, wait, there's a lot more to this than just just going there and winning a
Just
fight.
showing up and
Yeah. And I slowly just kept like building onto it. Even my amateur MMA debut, lost that same kind of way of like of really understanding how to scramble with some of these guys, and the gas it takes, and the pressure it takes. And then from there we leveled up the strength conditioning, we leveled up the saying the scrambles with some solid wrestlers, and just slowly start getting better with that. And yeah, and I just kept going, I just kept pushing, and eventually met up with Tyson, met up with the team, and now we're here.
Yeah. How did you go from being in Tampa delivering pizzas, get the bug, to getting back up to Massachusetts? Because obviously you were born in Massachusetts.
Yeah, another crazy funny
and connecting
story.
with, working through all of these different, because New England, before we even had the cartel, it's a fight town. It's a fight area. There's some good people, but it's kind of spread out, and it's a little bit territorial, and it can be a little whatever.
Yeah.
How did all of this progress for you?
Again, crazy story. Like, this is like meant to be, almost. Like, so Kathy was going to school at the time at USF. She finished up, moved back home to Woburn, Mass. And I was still in Tampa, and we were on the phone, and the show Punk was on, and it was Mike Campbell and I think Danny Lozon. They were on the show, and they went to Mark Delagrada gym in Somerville at Seothong. And I was on the phone. I was just about to come visit too, to come check out Boston, kind of decide if I wanted to move out there or not. And I was on the phone with him. I hold on, I got to call you back. I got to watch this show. And they kind of like, I learned about, see Seothong, Muay Thai, Boston area, Kenny Florian, Marcus Davis, all those guys. Obviously Joe Lozon. I started figuring out the whole New England scene. And so the moment I got to the airport, I was timing it from like Somerville to Woburn, how long it took to kind of like, so I was like, I'm here for like a visit, but I'm going to sneak out and get to this gym. And it was like, I was timing it, and it was like, and then once we got to Woburn, everybody settled down. We kind of did the whole family thing, visit everybody, hung out, whatever. The next day I was like, I'm going to go check out the school. And I was at a jiu-jitsu school at the time in Tampa, and which had a decent, saying kickboxing class, but it wasn't like what Seothong provided.
Right.
And I was mind blown. I was like, wait a minute. It was like high level, saying striking with MMA. And I think I naturally picked up and took to striking a lot faster than I did jiu-jitsu, which was weird, because I started in jiu-jitsu. That's what kind of got me going, but I kind of like just took off faster with that, and it clicked quicker, and but I was always down the road, whatever, but this just took off. And it was kind of like, I think I gotta get here. It was, I just kind of felt like I knew I gotta be here. Went back home, hung out. Maybe I was out until maybe like a couple more weeks, and then I finally made the move out here. And yeah, that was it. I got out here. Kathy was like, listen, if you really think you could do this, I'll take care of business, and you don't have to worry about work and anything like that. Like, I had a couple like jobs here and there. Like, I was working at 7-Eleven. I was working at a bar here and there, just to kind of get some money in, but train at the same time. And she just like, even to that point, she's like, I don't even want you doing that. Like, just train. And it was like, all right, cool. So like, how long you think? And not in a rush, but like, how, like, realistic, how it'll take you to get to the UFC? I was like, give me 2 years. And we did it in a year and a half, and it was like for her to have that much trust in for me to deliver on that, it felt so good. It was like, and it wasn't like a cocky thing. And it was just like, I just felt it. Like, I felt like if I do this and I get right, and all you got to do is win, you just got to win, and not that easy, but you just got to keep winning, and they'll never deny you, and you can't be denied. And saying the UFC, they're always putting on shows. They're always, so that it's just got to get, just got to get those W's. At that time, you weren't getting in the UFC unless you had like 10 fights in. So like, I knew I had time. And so we got to that 10-1, 9-1, 10-1, and then we made our debut. So it was just grind them out, keep fighting. And we're got to some points we were fighting 4 to 5 times a year, and then once we kind of got our name out there and started winning belts, we slowed it down a little bit, and then got a little more strategic about who we fight and how we presented ourselves to the UFC, and then we got there.
And now here we are coming up on the 10-year anniversary of that UFC debut against George Roop. Is it feel crazy yet? Like, do you have moments where you kind of like, pinch yourself? You've got all the posters on the wall behind you. Like there's a ton of posters now.
Yeah,
but I still remember that first one, and I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, we got the shadow box from the gloves, all that. We got a bunch of posters, so seeing all of that. I was just at a meeting the other day. It's funny. It was at a meeting with a couple content creators, and they were asking me. They were young too. Like, hey, when did you start going? I was like, probably like 2008. And they're like, wow, I was 10 years old. I was like, shit, like you were 10 years old when I first started. And I'm not, we're just sitting at a table together. It's like,
yeah,
it was like, it just time flies by. But that's what they say, when you love what you do, like it just goes. And I think, obviously we made some mistakes here and there. It's been a bumpy road. But I don't think I would have, like from how I started to how it's going, like I wouldn't ask for anything different, like we're in a good spot, as far as like financially, I'm in a good spot as far as, training wise. Like I'm still in love with training. I still get to pass on, my knowledge to the younger kids. I still teach here and there. We still do seminars. So I have that passion to still train, to still fight, to even teach now. And then out of all that craziness, we kind of created a team as well and a brand, and it just keeps getting bigger and better.
Yeah. How important, how influential was the New England Cartel coming together? I had Tyson on. He was the first guest on this show. Known Tyson for a while, talked to him for a while. And the formation of the team was sort of like, all right, let's just do this a different way. Let's skip some of the BS. Let's just small unit. How influential has it been over these last couple of years to just have that tight knit group? Yourself, Cal, Nick Fiore, Pags, couple guys on the side, couple coaches, like real tight.
It's been huge. It's been huge. It's been a learning process for me. As especially when we first started, I was trying to fight everybody. I was like, Tyson had to calm me down. Like, listen, you're not thinking long term. You're not being real strategic here. Like I was trying to fight Calvin. I was trying to take on whoever. It didn't matter. I still had that kind of, go after the big guy at the playground kind of mentality.
Yeah.
Like Tyson had like, bro, chill out. Like you don't have to fight a guy like that. Saying to get to the UFC,
right.
And it took me a while to understand that. And then once I understood, like, all right, instead of just me, let's make this more about we, and like it took me a while. Then once I kind of like figured, I saw, all the great things that had started happening. I got more training partners. I got better quality training partners. I wasn't just beating everybody up anymore. I'm like, now I'm getting destroyed by a guy like Calvin. I'm getting destroyed by the young kids like a Nick Fiore that's like, like just so good on the ground. Like, whereas like if I would have just stepped to myself, I would have never got to expose to these type of talents, and obviously that was huge for me. But then also get to kind of like practice what I preach. When I tell these guys, hey, try this out, I gotta keep myself accountable to actually doing it when I fight or spar or practice or whatever. So, it wasn't just me about me anymore. And I think Tyson showed me that he's been real patient with me, and and then it just happened. We got linked up with Calvin, and then from there, obviously Nick Fiore, Tom Pags, those guys came along, and obviously the staff as far as like Jake Manini, Jonathan Dupree, Sean Farley with the boxing, Mike Perry with the strength conditioning coach, like our nutritionist, like all those people, plus obviously Tyson at the head, kind of like managing our careers, but managing all the personalities that come with the cartel. And it's just been a blessing. And yeah, it's just been a blessing, man. I wouldn't ask for a better team, and it's getting bigger, but it's still the same kind of small group mentality to where who's the first two up. We're going like yesterday, it was me and Tom. Tom's fighting first, and I'm fighting after that, and it was just about us in a selfish, greedy way, kind of, but it's not. Everybody else knows that they're coming here to help Tom get ready for these fights, and after we're done, then it's our turn to come back, help you guys get ready to fight for your fights. And it's everybody understands it. Everybody understands the mission. Everybody's down to do whatever it takes to get the mission completed. And I don't think you can kind of get that from like a big box gym, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say, how big of an impact does that have, that singularity, that focus, right? Because we hear all the time, we see some of these bigger gyms, it's so many different people, everybody's got fights, and there can't be that specialization, there can't be that focus. Whereas you guys, it really is, okay, Pags is fighting, he's priority one. Rob's behind him, he's priority two. Then it's going to be Nick. Then once Cal's healthy and he's ready to come back, Cal's going to have his turn. And everybody knows, as you said, that they're there for that person that's up next. And it's not about anything other than giving that person the work they need, the looks they need. How influential and how important is that kind of approach to getting you to where you are now as a fixture in the top 10 in the deepest, toughest division in the UFC?
It's so important. I do believe that, like, you know, like you get exposed quicker. You know, you can't run. You can't be the guy that just off the side over there kind of
Right.
wrestling. You
Picking
can't, you know
the
what I'm saying?
easy partners.
Yeah, you can't pick and choose your partners. You're like the other day, like I had Hugo and Nick Fury on me, and like these guys are both bigger than me, both better than me on jiu-jitsu. You know, like they're both stronger, and it's kind of like I could have easily got frustrated, and I could have easily, this is stupid, Tyson. You know, and like you guys do that at these gyms, and we're now like, no, that's just the only two guys you get to train with. Like either you train with them or you go home. You know, so it's kind of like one of those things where you
Here are
force,
your options.
yeah,
Get
like
the
that's
work
it.
or get nothing.
Exactly, you know. So it's kind of like I'm like, this guy's a 5-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion, and this guy is just like a young phenom, and it's kind of like I could have easily went negative, and this is stupid. They're not even the same size. Like Adrian Yanez is not even, you know what I'm saying, he's not even a grappler like that, or like, but no, I'll just suck it up and get to work. But I don't know, but I don't think you can pull that off in bigger gyms. I think it's kind of like I've been to the ATTs, I've been to the you know, Team Alpha Male. There's like 30, 40 guys on those mats sometimes, and it's like to the point where like I can see how if you want to be lazy, you can kind of just stay off to the side, and
right.
You know, and again, and obviously all the coaches know that, and it's up to you to not do that. But I can see if you're not having a good day, you can kind of just chill out. You know, with us, it's go. You know, like we're right there. There's the camera's constantly on you. You can't hide behind whatever insecurity you're feeling that day. So I think that's a big part. I think, you know, like Tyson knows us. It's not just, oh yeah, he's good here. Like, no, he knows detail for detail how if this fight hits the ground, he can still submit him with this because I've watched him do it 10 times Thursday, you know. So it's kind of like he really knows us. And you know, he's real anal about things too. So like not only like he's watching it, but he's going home, he's typing it up, and
I've seen the scouting reports.
Yeah, so
he sent me a scouting report once of just like, and like did the right thing, redacted all the codes and all the everything so that I don't get tempted to share state secrets. But like, I understand that man is not just sitting there and being like, yep, great, good. He's going home and the blueprint is being laid out and then passed out to everybody.
Exactly. So it's and then like you said, and he's real good with communication. So it's not only just him that has the message, he's passing it out across to the coaches and the staff. So everybody's on the same page. Everybody understands that, like, even when it comes to like just training, like you know, like, hey, how's he feeling this day? I know I pushed him yesterday. You might want to pull off on this, or my strength and conditioning might call Tyson and like, hey, we killed him on the sprints. You might want to pull out, and like everybody's on the same page, but it doesn't work unless if Tyson's not kind of being that middleman. And but yeah, man, like I think it's like it's simple, it's straight to the point, it's rough, it's hard, you know, and it kind of stole, really, it's nothing new. It's kind of stole the boxing approach, you know. It's Hagler going away and training for months in the mountains, you know, and you know, like if you notice, he didn't bring in a bunch of high level boxers, you know, he didn't bring in a whole bunch of champions. His sparring partners are, you know, I would say lower level sparring partners. So like we don't we don't necessarily need to kind of be fighting. Like again, I don't have to be sparring Calvin Kattar the whole
Right.
time. We can pull in lower level guys to kind of slow it down, learn and beat them up, and then once we kind of like figure out what we're trying to work on, we can bring in a higher level of competition, but they don't have to be a
Right.
US champ. You know what I'm saying? I
You
think
don't have to be in there going hard rounds with
exactly,
Cal, with
exactly.
other
Like,
UFC
I was
fighters.
still
It's
when I
just
first,
about you.
exactly when I first started, it was like I wanted to get around I want to spar all top 5 guys that and
Right.
I was like, why? You know what I'm saying? Because then most likely are you gonna end up fighting these guys, as far as like in the gym. You're not gonna actually train and get better. You're gonna end up just trying to go at it and not really
Right.
work much. You're gonna just do what works, But give me one second. I gotta throw this charger on real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think it's a learning process. Don't get it twisted. Like it was a learning process. It took a lot of like Tyson. Man, like fuck that. Like let's do this. Like fuck that.
Yeah.
Let's like and it was just like and I didn't you don't know what you don't know either. I was still kind
It's
of like
recalibrating all the things that you thought. It's readjusting all the ideas you had about, no, I need to prove I'm the biggest guy. I need to prove I'm the toughest guy, to I need to be smart because, hey, look, if I have great rounds in here in the gym in the dark against Cal, what's that get me?
exactly.
Beat up a little bit, and I get to tell my friends that I had a good round against Calvin Kattar.
I learned
Why don't I
quickly.
save that for whoever I got to face on TV?
When we first started sparring, I learned quickly, like, wait, this might have been a bad matchup for me. Like, hold up, like, oh shit, all right, maybe
Right.
Tyson, because like it was hard, rough rounds, like as far as like, not necessarily like pounding on each other, but like technique for technique, skill set for skill set. And it was like, oh, okay, all right, like instead of trying to fight this live, I can go at a medium pace with them all the
Right.
time now. I'm only going to get better with this.
And I can learn from them. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I and then realistically at that time, I was still fighting at 45. So when I felt with a real 45er, felt like I was like, oh yeah, we got to go down to 35. It's different, like,
Yeah.
it's just different. And you see, like you could hit that man with a sledgehammer. He just laughs at you. And like, when you feel that, it's different. It's like, wait. I just hit him. I'm consistently hitting him. He's just laughing at me. It's like, all right, there's levels to this. And like, he exposed me to it real quick. And again, it's just more of like, just trying to like be that guy for no reason, just thinking I had to. And again, like, obviously Tyson kind of like, switched my mindset and it was for the better for sure.
We'll get to Adrian Yanez and April 8th, UFC 287 in a minute here. You're in a spot though right now. And I talked to Tyson about this a little bit last week. He and I were on a call for one of the pieces that I do for UFC.com and asked how your camp was going, all like that. And he said, he's in a weird spot where some guys, you get to this where you're not fighting that often. And next thing you know, it's 2 years since you had a victory or just about. Now, those losses are to Jose Aldo and Chito Vera. One is an absolute legend going in the Hall of Fame this coming year. The other is a top 5 fighter, and it was a good fight. You had a good performance, set records in that performance. But what's it like for you mentally and just kind of like, even really truthfully, emotionally, to be in that position where you're not getting to fight as often as I know you would like to, and you're catching these setbacks, and then you have to sit on them and almost stew in them a little bit? How do you process all of these things and look at it from still that positive outlook of, okay, but it's Jose Aldo and it's Chito Vera, and I did some good things, I just didn't do enough?
Yeah, it's definitely rough. It's definitely it's all mental, man. I like you can't really dwell on the past. Obviously, you can't look too far in the future, but that's easier said than fucking done, right? Like it's like, how am I not going to look back at seeing some of the Cheeto exchanges or all those exchanges or on Instagram, on YouTube, like it's kind of like, so it's more of like trying not to just forget about it, but like and realize what happened, take what's good, take what was bad from those fights, learn from them, and like being cool with it. instead of, because sometimes I try to like bury things. Sometimes like I forget it. Like, I don't even go back. I don't even care about like no, like this. I had to step up and like, all right, like what did we do right? What did we do wrong? You know, you went 2-2. You went 2 in a row to then losing two in a row as well. Like what was going on outside the cage, inside the cage, kind of breaking that down. Um, you know, and then trying to like, like really trying to break down what we did right, what we did wrong, and then how I can approach it better mentally, going into these fights. So, I'll be checking all the boxes with all like, as far as the mental coaches, whoever we need to talk to, stuff like that. But more about being patient, as far as, like you said, like I haven't fought in a while. So it's more about being patient and not just jumping at whatever I can just because. Man, we got offered a couple fights before April, to this fight, and we turned it down, and it was more of like just taking the time, recouping, being patient. I know I want to, everybody knows I want to get back in there, but just I did need that time. I took some big shots in that Cheeto fight, and for me, also kind of helped. Dana White paid me my whole check, so that kind of helped the year of me just waiting. So that was
Right.
huge. I was kind of like, all right, like obviously off a loss, and I didn't make weight. And he still loved the fight. He not even that. Not only did he pay me, he FaceTimed me in the hospital, and it was kind of like, listen, he gave me some good encouragement, gave me some good words. As basically told me I had nothing to worry about. Just whenever you're ready, come back and reach out whenever you need to. So that definitely helped out a lot because you kind of down. We're in the hospital. You
Yeah, for
draw
sure.
row, and then you get that call. Like instantly, my spirits were up. So that helped out a lot. And then just trying to be there for the teammates, my teammates as well. And then obviously having a baby kind of like made that kind of go a little
Right.
quick. But as far as mentally, emotionally, it's definitely been hard. I haven't lost 2 in a row. This is the first. Um, I'm going from back-to-back main events to now big card. Obviously huge card, still on the pay-per-view, to then fight an unranked fighter. That's
Yeah.
dangerous, just dangerous as Jose Aldo or Cheeto. So that's it's kind of like, for back to like we had the opportunity to kind of like push forward. Now we got to go back, which is how the game goes. But like it's like, all right, now we got to get back on the win streak. But we're risking a lot to gain a little, and it's like it's just the way it goes, but I'm up for that. I can't. It is what it is. Like it's part of the business. So, but you gotta recognize that and acknowledge that too. Like that is what's happening. And so that could be a little scary. It could be in your mind. It could be, it could cause some anxiety and some performance anxiety if once you get out there. But I don't believe so. I don't think I'm gonna get out there and be like worried about if I'm gonna have a
Right.
job. I really do think I'm gonna go out there and do my thing. It's just more about being smarter with it, being more strategic with it, picking and choosing when to fight, when not to fight. I broke records in that last Cheeto fight when I could have slowed it down a little bit more. I could have
Right.
I got hurt, I believe it's the second round, and I came back in that third round. Like if I was down 10 rounds, it was kind of like little maturity there too. I think I learned from that last fight, and I don't have to get the finish the whole time. I could have kind of took that boxer's approach and just picked them apart and moved my feet and just got away with decision after I got dropped. Instead I was like, finish him, go. It was like,
Right.
why? You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like,
Yep.
why?
Yep.
Like you could have, like, you still had 3 more rounds to kind of, 3 more rounds to kind of like, do your thing. You had a whole fight to kind of pick him apart only because you got dropped, and he might have, because I don't even know. It maybe I'm pretty sure he won that round, but like it was the first round. I definitely believe I won, and the second round was winning, and then I lost it at the end. But I got up like if it was like it
Yeah.
was end of the world, and so just knowing how to like play the game a little better, I think I learned from that, and just yeah, I just kind of like picking apart myself, really picking apart what I did right, what I do wrong, and just getting more into the team, getting more into like what we're doing, obviously for the cartel, and obviously and then getting more on my personal life is really locking that in
Yep.
and going out there and do what I got to do to get my hand raised. And I think obviously Adrian Yanez is a great opponent for that because he's looking for the finish. And like I said, and when you're looking for a lot of shots, a lot of opportunities come up, and a lot of
Right.
slippage, a lot of leakage comes through your punches, And if I can be more disciplined than him, be in a better position with my feet, with my hands than him, and force him to throw those type of shots, I'm going to capitalize on them. And I guess I got Cheeto to thank for that, you know.
How valuable is it having watched Cal sort of go through the same thing, right? He had the fight with Max. It's a hard fight. It's a grueling fight. Comes out on the wrong side of it, and then takes that full year. And now here you are sort of doing the same thing, right? He takes the year off, he comes back, has that great performance against Giga to come back to.
Yeah.
Do you look at that and do you see that and go, okay, we've sort of proven that this works. Like this has been tested and we've shown the value of this. And I saw my guy go through that and how hard it was for him. And I'm sure you were one of the guys that was there like, nah, man, we're good. You're good here. You could take this time that you then know I can do this same thing and it can be the same results.
100%, you know, and again, shout out to Tyson. I would have never got the opportunity to learn these lessons if I was still trying to just be the king of the mat and all that.
Right.
And so I got to sit back and I got to see, okay, take some time off, recover, get back to it. Like, you know, when instead of just jumping in the next 3 months and trying to fight again, you know, taking that time. I know it's hard, but like you'll find things to do in between, and then before you know it, you're gonna get that call and you're right back into camp. And that's how it went down. You know, I felt like it went similar to how Calvin's went down. Like we were here and there, get some time to hang out with the family, get a little bit of traveling, and before you know it, you're right back in it. And you know, like and you love it, you know, like so it's happy. There's a lot of feelings and emotions go into it, but then it's like, don't forget like what happened last time, and like not to dwell on it, but like let's get back to like let's really
have it keep you in check a little bit, like have it there as that reminder of this is what can happen. Let's make sure it doesn't happen again.
Exactly. There's that kind of like reminder, like, oh, this can get real ugly real fast. And you know, I don't want to put, you know, my daughter through that. I don't want to put Kathy through that again. I don't want to obviously put the team through that again. And you know, if it happens, it happens, but I don't want it. You know, I don't want to like
can't control some stuff, but
I don't want to go out there and have to slug. You know, I want to pitch a no hitter. You know, I want to get in there and just make it look, wow, okay, he's something changed in him. You know, and and I believe come April 8th that you're gonna see that.
You mentioned Adrian Yanez being unranked, but a guy that's 5-0 in the UFC on a nice run here since coming into the promotion from the Contender Series. It's a dangerous fight, as you said. It's a tough, you know, stalwart top 10 guy in yourself taking on an unranked fighter, excuse me. What made this the right fight to come back to? What made this the opponent that made sense for you to return against?
Yeah, you know, if you look at all the up and coming young guys, I would say this is probably the guy you want to fight. You know, they offered him. You know, we thought it was a good fight. He's fought a couple guys I personally trained with, like Randy Costa. So I kind of like see how that went out. Yeah, you know, and it just you know, it just felt right. I think we all collected, because usually I'm like, I don't even care to send me. I don't even need the name to say, yeah, Tyson. Like this time I was like, let's sit down, let's talk about this, let's really break this down. And it was like, he liked it. Tom, Cal, Nick, you know, obviously Cal, everybody liked it. You know, tough fight, but it's kind of like, you know, we're not sitting there with somebody that's trying to take me down the whole time either, you know, and grind out one of those type fights. So like we like that. We like that part about it too. And yeah, but when it comes down to it, it's the UFC. These guys are all fucking tough, man. They're all, you know, like they're all good, you know, and it's gonna be, you know, like, and you know, obviously, you know, you're not controlling too much of the matchup either. So it's kind of, this is who you fight, you know, kind of like one of those things. So that played a part.
But it's nice to not have a Nurmagomedov on the end of that name or something like that.
I didn't want to say it, like, you know what I'm saying?
I get it. No, I get it.
Up and coming guys, you know, like that. He's probably one of the guys you want to fight, if an unranked fighter, you know.
Well, and this is what 10 years in the game in the big leagues gets you, right? Is a little bit of pick and choose and a little bit of, all right, I'd rather A than B. So you gotta use that a little bit.
And, you know, Sean was real cool with it. He offered us. I don't quote me
Yeah.
on this. I believe at the time it was I think he offered us the Frankie Edgar fight. He wanted to know if we wanted to fight in November in New York. Or yeah, I believe, yeah, and I want to say that might have been, but obviously we turned it down, and then from there, all right, well, what are you guys thinking? And it was like, this is the date. All right, cool. Say no more. I won't even ask you. If he saw me at a fight,
Yeah.
it wasn't even like, cool. Say no more. Just take your time. Whenever you're ready, call me. And then hey, came right. We're ready. April was like, cool. Well, I send you a date, and like 2 weeks later, this is the date. Here's the name. Let me know what you think. And it wasn't obviously this is who we have. And then obviously we looked at the division, who it was booked up already and all the fights. And so like, we'll go with it. It makes sense.
Yep.
Pretty easy. I don't have too much say in some of these things as far as like, I'm not like, oh no, I want this guy, I want that. It's
Yeah.
kind of
You're not really super picking and choosing, but like,
like, like T,
you
what do
get
you
a
think?
little. Yep.
He gives me the green light. I like it. Then we just go,
Yeah. I want to go back and drill down a little bit on the thing you said of like, it's the UFC. All of these dudes are tough, because I think people, obviously we look at stuff like rankings, we look at records, we look at all of those different things. And I think from the outside looking in, and even media at times can get a little bit removed from how good everybody is. Can you just, to clarify for anybody that has it twisted, it's hard out there. Like even these unranked kids, these guys people don't know of are world class, elite talents, and every one of these fights, like there's no layups here at this level where you're at.
Man, it's just like look at the champ, look at Aljamain, right? Like look, he got knocked out by Marlon Moraes. Now he's a champion. Yep. Where Marlon Moraes is at. It's like that's how quick things change, how good everybody is. It could be it's just certain nights things click, certain nights don't, and then it's a lot that goes behind it. So it's kind of like the name, and I know it seems easy to say the names are relevant. Like the names, they're all tough. It doesn't really matter who it is. Like they're all irrelevant. It's all tough. And they're all just it's just like a shark fest at the 35 division. So it's kind of like, all right, it's gonna be I'm either getting kicked this way, taken down this way, or getting choked here. Right. Like, all right, which one do you want to pick? Or this guy's gonna try to punch you. So it's kind of like I try to dumb it down and try to keep it simple and hit these guys more than they hit me and get my hand raised and obviously easier said than done. But we're at the and the best thing about it is like the UFC, they're not trying to do the whole matchmaking thing. They're trying to bring up the next crop. So if you're not there, you get away. So it's it's part of the process. I'm down for it though.
And especially in your division, like every week there's somebody else that's showing out, and there's another new kid that's like, hey, I'm here. All you guys that are in the top 15, all you older guys that have been around for a while, we're coming. Yeah. So like, there's no chance to lay off the gas. But like, you beat Ricky Simone a couple years ago. He's on this crazy run. He's now in the top 15. He's now calling for big fights, looking for big opportunities. And I'm sure at some point we'll be like, Rob Font, if you would like to run this back at any point, we could do this again. It 100%. Doesn't stop.
It's just, again, like you said, like, exactly like that. He's out there. Yeah, you have guys like Cruz that are still out there. Then you have all the young and up and coming guys, and then and it's like, yeah, it's crazy how the game just keeps getting bigger, better, and harder. But that's what I signed up for. This I signed up for this. Like I still approach it like I was when I was delivering pizza. Like I'm still here to try to do that. It's a little different. It's different names, it's different whatever, but I'm still that kid that's like, listen, I think I can do this, and I just got to figure out how to do it better. Like with every single little hiccup and loss and up and down, I'm still like, all right, it happened, but so what? Let's just figure out how to do it better. And I think I'm making some real adjustments, and not just saying it. Like I'm watching on the film, like I'm making a lot better adjustments, making better decisions in the sparring, and obviously you just got to go out there and make it happen come fight night.
So like being on a card like this, obviously you've got a bunch of posters behind you. You've been on some big cards in the past, but here we are again. It's another pay-per-view. You're on the pay-per-view card. Like, is it still that? Is it still that after all these years? Because like the debut is behind you. Machida and Weidman and Machida with Ronda Rousey and Alexis Davis. I believe that was a July fight card, was an international fight week card. Like you rolled in biggest event of the year, but 10 years later it's still
Chris Weidman on that card. You had Faber on that card. You had Ronda Rousey. You had obviously it was crazy. I'm saying, and at that it was International Fight Week, so you got a bunch of other legs around. I met BJ Penn that weekend. It was just like I was like this the whole time, and we're back to that. And I'm still back to that kind of scenario. So now we get to see the Izzy's, the Gilbert, you know, saying the Jorge Masvidal's, and I get to like. I used to watch him obviously do his thing in the backyard. And I'm fighting on the same car with him, you know. So that's always cool, you know. Like it's this is. I still feel like that kid that just made his debut, and I think that's the best thing about this is like this. It's not like, oh, I gotta go to work, I gotta go fight this. Like no, I'm like, wait, what is Miami?
It is work.
Weather, like it's you know, we got a huge card. This is a great opportunity. Like, you know, it just feels just like a main event, you know. So it's exciting.
Cool. Before we get out of here, we'll switch off from MMA talk and we'll shift to some other things, because part of the reason I wanted to do this show was to let people get to know athletes and people involved in this sport a little more beyond just I've got this fight coming up, so let me talk about this fight that I've got coming up. So let's start with this. Why does Stella hate the grill so much?
I don't know. I think when the wind goes, she doesn't like things that are not like calm. She likes it real calm. So like when the wind's blowing, like she sees in the side of her eye and she just wants to attack it. And I let her sometimes, man. I let her go out there.
Stella is Rob and Kathy's little dog who runs outside and literally just flying two-paw smashes the grill. So if you go to Rob's Instagram, there are like occasional throughout the tier of posts of just Stella looking at him at the door like, open that door, I'm gonna go kick this thing's ass real quick.
Yeah, she hits it hard too. It's like, it's almost like, at first I was like, you think she's gonna mess herself up, but she'll hit it, she'll grab it, she'll shake it, and then like put it in its place and then come back in, and the wind, and she'll hear the wind kind of pick up again, and she'll go, wait a minute, it's moving out there, and come and jack it up. But she's a bully, man.
And this is the thing. She's a little bully. She's what, like maybe 12 pounds soaking wet. And I'm the guy with the 75-pound pit bull that everybody's like, your dog must be a menace. And he's downstairs wearing a rainbow sweater, laying on the couch, like just chilling. Yeah. Wouldn't hurt a fly.
Stella's like, we got to get a trainer to come in because she's stubborn. She's stubborn and she's hard-headed. She's you know, she's a Shih Tzu. So like, you know, like she's like wants to run the show. But yeah, like we had she's in charge. Yeah, she's in charge, man. She does her thing, but she's the best though.
So, pizza introduced you to MMA. Is pizza still part of the like rotation at times for you, or did working at Pizza Hut like just kill pizza, just dead pizza, or is it like, nah, I still got love for pizza? It brought all of this to me.
Yeah, I actually even kind of learned how to actually make pizza a little better, as far as like doing it ourselves. We're in Boston, so you obviously have Santarpio's, Regina's. Those we all, you know, obviously we're always going back and forth, trying to figure out which one actually tastes better. I'm a little more Santarpio's, Kathy's more Regina's. And then obviously
a house divided. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's not like too divided to where she won't go to Santarpio's, right? Regina,
but like even that preference is a little like that can be tough to navigate.
Yeah. You know, and then you have all the local spots out here too. It's a pretty good Greek pizza spot over here too. In Hero. I live. That's not too far from me. But yeah, I'm a fan of pizza, man. I'll get crazy dessert pizzas, whatever it may be. We'll try it. I even do pineapple on pizza. I'm one of those guys.
I was gonna say, one, pineapple on pizza or no, and two, what is the goat? Like if you're just making yours, it's just for you, nobody else is eating it. What are the topping selections? What are we doing?
Man, I've been like, I haven't eaten in a while, but I've been liking like the green pepper. Just green bell pepper. There's like a baking bell pepper pepperoni and cheese, and it was just like I was on that for a while, but man, I mix it up. I know the Domino's has this fiery Hawaiian pizza that's pretty good. I'll try the margaritas. I'll try all the the white pizzas. Actually, I was in Vegas not too long ago. We had a solid pizza at I forgot where was it at. Man, I'll try it all, but like it's weird how like I'll go back to something simple like for like if I really want to eat, I just go back to a simple plain cheese or just plain pepperoni with a little bit of like either some spicy or like a bell pepper on it. But I'll try everything.
Outside of fighting and outside of looking after your daughter and making sure Stella's not killing the grill, what are the Rob Font hobbies? Are there secret talents? Are there other things that like people would be surprised to know that I'm really into fill in the blank?
So like I mean, I picked up golf not too long ago. I'm not that good, but I picked up getting better. Even started taking private lessons. Got a membership at a small par 3 course out here in New Hampshire. So I picked that up a little bit, trying to get better with that. I've been doing a lot of like basketball training too, as far as like not necessarily playing like a pickup game, but like just running through the drills and running through the shot drills, the layup drills, the ball handling kind of setup, and it's been pretty cool. Like I obviously I played a little bit, like I won't say play. I kind of messed around a little bit when I was younger, but never got shown how to play. And I did one workout with Michael Carter Williams, his stepfather, and I got hooked. It was over. I was like, oh man, this is cool. It's weird how similar some of the wording.
Yeah, the coordination stuff would carry over, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's kind of weird how the footwork, and you obviously you gotta be ambidextrous, so you gotta go left, you gotta go right. They have drills where it's like 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, like little as far as the chest and all that. So it's like it's pretty similar as far as the commands. It's great footwork, great cardio. I'll do like an hour of straight training and I'll break a crazy sweat, and it doesn't even feel like I'm working out. And it's kind of like a break of just getting punched or grinding out or wrestling. So I've been picking that up a little bit more. I got a gym membership at a local gym here, and Kathy actually used to play high school ball too. So she's pretty good. So we were, even when she was pregnant, we would still kind of play around here and there. And then it was just like, man, let me just kind of like get a little bit more serious with this and see. I did. I got the heavy balls and everything. We're sitting there just going at it. But
nice.
yeah, I like that. It's funny too because like even when I was younger, like the only sport I could really sit down and watch was basketball. It was hard for me to kind of like sit through a whole baseball game or a whole football game, but like I could kind of watch a basketball game. So it's like I see why I kind of like doing the workouts more now.
More and more fighters are telling me that they're getting into golf. I had Chiesa on last week. He's built a golf simulator in his back. Cool. I had a fellow bantamweight, Cameron Saman, who fights this coming weekend on. He's taking up golf. We may have to talk to the UFC to organize a like UFC golf tournament, like International Fight Week when everybody's out. Get it on Fight Pass. I'm gonna have to pitch this idea.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. I love teaching too, and I really do like teaching. Obviously MMA, striking. I like seeing somebody come in there with no confidence, a little baggage here, and walk out just confident, knowing their footwork's on point, knowing their hands are good, knowing that like they made improvements, seeing the improvements, watch the video of how when they first started to how they're actually not afraid to post their videos now. I like seeing that process. I even love seeing like the older ladies sitting there just kind of just fainting, moving their head, really moving. I love seeing that because it's like they come in so timid, and before you know it, it's like they're just like they got that swag, they're confident. Like I got that maybe like a year ago, more like 2 years ago. I had a guy come to me like, bro, this helped my marriage. Like it was just like, hell yeah. I'm like, no, let's just go. Like little things like that like are huge. So like I do have a passion for teaching and stuff like that as well.
Well, I have a passion for watching you feint and throw hands and get after people, and I'm happy that it's a couple months away. I mean, it's still a couple months away, or 6 weeks away, I guess, but it's coming. And it's been too long. I'm glad you're doing well. Congratulations to you and Kathy on the arrival of Emerald Monroe. Before I let you fully get out of here, let people know where to follow you, to check out the videos of Stella attacking the grill, to see everything you're doing with work, to follow your see the growth of your daughter, and then follow you as you get out there in April for UFC 287.
Yeah, Instagram, Rob_Font. Twitter is Rob S Font. The S is for Spencer. And yeah, just follow along, guys. YouTube. Check me out on YouTube. Just type in Rob Font. You'll find it. And yeah, man. Appreciate you having me on. This has been a pretty cool conversation.
I appreciate you doing it. Stay healthy these next couple months. I hope everything goes well with camp. I'm sure we will touch base again between now and the fight. We'll probably have an assignment come my way to do a story. So we'll dive into the fight itself a little more. But thank you, man. I appreciate it. For Rob Spencer Font, I am Spencer Kyte. This has been a conversation with. We'll see you next week.